and it's the Vancouver Canucks, because this is an absolute dumpster fire now. Like
Oh man.
this has gone off the rails. Like this is even bigger than some playoff stories like that's happening right now. We have Rick Tocchet was offered reportedly 5 years, $25 million, and decided to walk away. And a lot of people think he's going to Philadelphia. That's probably the most logical spot for him. Um, Listen, it's gone from season in hell for the Vancouver Canucks to now the offseason is just going to be the exact same thing, it seems like. And I I just have to talk about Jim Rutherford's press conference yesterday. Did you guys happen to see what he said?
What about the Quinn Hughes
Yeah, I saw some of it.
thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was asked about or was asked, did you talk to Quinn Hughes? And he said, well, I actually tried calling him, and I'm really hoping he's golfing right now because usually he answers, and he hasn't answered. So I'm really hoping he's golfing. It turns out that he was actually at the Knicks game.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, neither here nor there. I'm shocked. Like, I am shocked. I don't know what is going to happen. I really truly believe that's it for Quinn Hughes. He's probably gone. I don't think he's gonna resign now. I think that him and Rick Tocchet were one of the closest coach player relationship or coach captain relationships in the NHL, and they really saw eye to eye on everything. And I think that is going to that's a major loss for any negotiating period for the Vancouver Canucks. But yeah, like what do you guys think is happening in Vancouver? Like, are you guys shocked or no?
Well, I'm not shocked because the way that this year's played out for them and the noise around Tocchet especially after the JT Miller trade, it just feels like they need like a reset in that room, like just in general. Like, I don't think that I'm going to imagine that him and Pettersson were probably not always on the greatest, track either, just because if the coach wasn't able to really get these, I'm talking about JT Miller and Pettersson, if Tocchet wasn't able to get them worked out, I can't imagine that even just removing Miller was just going to all of a sudden fix whatever problems were actually going on. So you add in the potential for Quinn Hughes to potentially walk after, what is it, next year? So I mean, like, I'm not shocked. I think in a couple of years, this Vancouver Canucks team may be vastly different than what we saw last year when they were on the rise, right? When people were picking them to, be a Western Conference final potentially for the next couple of years with the growth that their team could have. So I think they have a chance to kind of retool a little bit, kind of find again what their identity is going to be with a new coach, with potentially some free agent additions, maybe some young talent injected into their lineup next year. But yeah, like, I can't say I'm surprised with the way that everything's gone this season.
Yeah, I think if I'm him, and especially because he's from this area, he's from the east end of he's from Scarborough, but I mean, he's more of an Eastern guy, played a lot in Pittsburgh and Philly, and Tocchet is more probably comfortable in this area. I think he cited like family reasons as to why he was like, this was sort of an easy decision just based on the fact that I want to move back into maybe a more local scene that he's used to, i.e. possibly Philly, right? Like possibly Pittsburgh. I mean, I'm not saying that either one, but like they're both vacant jobs. Like, how crazy is that? And this is an opportunity for him to decide his next move in hockey, which I think was one of the things he said. He's like, whatever my next hockey like move is. I'm paraphrasing, but he's pretty adamant that he's not going anywhere. And yeah, just like, I don't know if you want to stick around there where the whole year was a complete nightmare. No amount of money is going to keep him there when he's probably going to earn a pretty decent chunk of change wherever he lands. And he's already earned a pretty good amount of money, I'm sure, as a head coach and assistant in other positions. Plus,
yeah, he was.
Go ahead.
He was the 10th highest paid person.
Yeah.
10th.
So,
and then this, if 5x5 was what they offered him, it would have made him the third highest paid coach in the NHL.
Yeah, and I mean, who knows? Maybe other teams are willing to pay him close to that. Like, who knows? But I just think, like, would you rather go to a team? Maybe Pittsburgh's a bad example because they're heading in a pretty tough, dark couple of years themselves. But Philly is on the rise. They're going to have a pretty decent pick this year. It's going to be a little bit like shinier, couple shiny toys on that end. And I just don't know if Vancouver's going to provide that. I'm still surprised Rutherford. Like, I like him because he provides a lot of quotes for the NHL. He's always been that way. But like, you could also have just been like, hey, like, I haven't spoken to Quinn Hughes yet, and that would have been it. So
this
it's just
is
hilarious.
what I wanted to debate. I wanted to ask you guys, like, do you agree with what Jim Rutherford has like said in like the last like 2 weeks? Like, it basically saying, we could go get Luke and Jack, and that would solve all of our problems. Basically, tampering right on the spot, and then coming out and saying, "Yeah, I haven't spoken to Quinn." Like, are you like? Are you okay with this, or are you like, you just shut up, Jim? Just you gotta shut your lips sometimes here.
I'm tempted to think that he's just doing this like because he knows it's kind of fun and he doesn't feel like there's any actual stakes with what's going on because he's an older guy. He's been around for so long and he's done a lot. He's not really in a position where he's probably feeling like I gotta win the cup next year. Like, he's not freaking out. Like, he seems like he's also trying to, I'm sure, settle down maybe the temperature in Vancouver. We're not out there.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know necessarily what a lot of their fans are really thinking, but there's absolutely cause for concern. Like, there's no reason why he should be out here publicly making it known to everybody basically that he doesn't have a seemingly good relationship with their best player. So I think whether he's there for the long haul or whether Hughes is there for the long haul, like, if the Canucks don't get this figured out this summer, basically, like I said, with a secure identity, with knowledge in terms of who's going to be there going forward. Brock Besser might be on his way out too. I think that's probably likely at this point. Like, I don't think anybody really has a clue what their plan is. So I think if they don't get that figured out soon, like, they could easily be back down in the dumps in a couple of years with a lot of the guys that could be out soon.
I have a little bit of a rant, like, just on the Vancouver Canucks, just because they're at a point where it's just misery. Like, for me, the Vancouver Canucks are a joke right now. Like, they are legit a joke in the NHL. Like, you go from being a 109-point season or 109-point team a season ago to missing the playoffs this season. Not going to re-sign. You've already come out and said, like, we have no interest basically in re-signing Brock Besser. He's going to walk in free agency. You trade JT Miller, the heart and soul guy of the team, who actually pushed the team and a lot of teammates respected in that locker room, not the guy that's making $11 million that doesn't play his hardest, that the coach then came out at the end of the season and said, yeah, it starts with practice for him because he needs to get better off the ice as well and not just in games. It's absolutely terrible. Then you have your captain saying that speculation around, or not saying, but speculation around him saying, who knows what's going to happen in 2 years when he needs to be paid because he might not want to stay. And it might not come down to money with him. And that's directly from your president saying, I don't know if he's going to stay. And we are going to offer him everything that we can. But who knows if that's even going to be enough. Then you have the best coach that you've probably had in 10 years leave your building because of the dysfunction inside that organization. And that's the person that the captain wants the most to stay around. He probably doesn't care about Elias Pettersson staying around. It's Rick Tocchet that he cared the most about. He's come out and said that he loves Rick Tocchet. So where the Vancouver Canucks go from here, I don't know. But they're the farthest away from winning a Stanley Cup. They went from having a Stanley Cup contender in their window, like being primed and ready to go for Stanley Cups for the next 5 years, to this is a dumpster fire. We're going to have the first overall pick probably next year because we're so bad. We are so bad. That's where it is right now for the Vancouver Canucks.
Maybe Gavin McKenna solves some problems if that's the case. You never know.
Yeah,
it's dark.
Why not? Just Gavin McKenna.
It's definitely dark, man. It's definitely dark. It's a tough spot. And if I'm Quinn Hughes, I'm definitely looking at destinations elsewhere. It's easier to see him play on the East Coast than it is to see those guys play on the West Coast is kind of what I'm saying. So we'll see.
Yeah,
Crazy
it's a
stuff.
lot easier to facilitate one person going to a team than bringing two stars to a team. Like that, Rutherford is out of his tree if he
I think
thinks
he's
that
obviously
Jack
kidding.
Hughes. I don't know. I don't think he
Yeah.
is because
No,
he
he
knows.
is.
No,
he's
he
kidding.
knows. He knows. He knows that there is no other option than we have to keep Hughes. Like he knows deep down that that's the biggest chip that we have, and we have to do anything for him. I don't think he's kidding when he says we gotta possibly get Luke and Jack to Vancouver. I really don't think he's kidding. I think he's being completely transparent with everyone and just saying, "Hey, I'm going to try and make some magic happen here. I'm going to have to offer up 4 first-rounders and Elias Pettersson to get Jack Hughes and Luke Hughes on the Vancouver Canucks."
Like,
just FYI.
Let's bring Connor Bedard home type thing. Like let's all bets are off the table type thing.
Let's just go get all the BC boys. Let's just go get Celebrini. Let's go get Bedard. Let's just bring them all home. Let's get Gavin McKenna to stay.
Yeah.
Let's get DuPont in the next couple of years because we're gonna be so bad. We're just gonna be so bad. Let's just suck. Let's just suck.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard for I guess general manager Patrick Alvin. Don't know how much work he's doing right now. It seems like Rutherford's kind of taken control of this whole thing, and now he's going to be, I bet, the one to kind of fall on his sword in a year or two when Rutherford retires or something, and then he's left to say like that it was all his fault, I guess. So like I don't know what's going to happen there. Like you're right, Justin. The organization's in complete disarray right now, and yeah, they got to figure it out soon. It's not.
They might be the worst organization in the entire league right now. Like they solely might be. Like I know Chicago's struggling. Chicago is in a terrible, terrible spot, but they might even be in a worse situation. Like the Vancouver Canucks do not have any hope in the future and do not have anything other than Quinn Hughes to sell tickets on. No one wants to pay tickets to go watch Elias Pettersson right now.
You know what's funny, and I don't think you'll agree with me, but there is one other organization that I think is in a worse, if not, or maybe a similar, if not worse, position. And it's not because I feel like they're in any worse disarray. Like they're probably about the same, maybe less. But it's because I don't think that this team realizes exactly where they are. And that team to me is the New York Rangers, where they, I think, are so far on the way. They are so far on the way down, but they think, and they've thought all year that if they make a change here or there, that they'll just find it again and that they'll be right back in the playoff race. I think that one of the smarter things they did was obviously fire Peter Laviolette. They're doing the similar thing to Vancouver where they realize, I think, that there's something not working now and they need to figure that out. But I don't think that they believe that there's anything wrong with their roster or that there's anything wrong with the way that they're moving forward. I think they truly believe that with a few minor additions potentially this summer, they'll be right back in the fold. But I do not see that coming at all. I think they'll need some serious roster construction and yeah, just a new identity, a new voice in a head coach will help. But to me, the Rangers and the Canucks, as funny as it is this year, they were trading partners pretty much all year. I think they made multiple deals with each other. Yeah. It's like, I don't think people realize like how close those teams are in terms of the success they've had very recently. And now I don't see either team really showing that they are contenders in their division or in their conference next year. Like they're both, I think, have some ways to go before they truly are back on in a positive